8:48 here on Breakfast Television. More Aladdin. It is beautiful.
It is beautiful. And with this update, with them moving from animation to live action, they knew they had an opportunity to kind of update the storyline a little bit. And of course, the best way to do that is with Princess Jasmine. I talked to Naomi Scott, the star, playing Jasmine, and Guy Ritchie about just making some tweaks to make her a little bit more contemporary in 2019.
Very cool.
A handsome prince wants to marry you. Oh, when will life get easier? I was born to do more than marry some prince. You want to be sultan. But why?
I have been preparing for this my whole life.
You know, when you take an animated movie and you translate that to a live action, actually there is a lot of space, you know. I think that there's been space and time. It's been 27 years or so since the original. So there definitely were things that felt like a natural progression, you know, especially with my character.
I thought a princess could go anywhere.
Not this princess.
So all of those plot changes, it wasn't something that was shoehorned in, it just felt natural. And, you know, it's a very personal thing to me. I loved Jasmine growing up.
Do you trust me?
So, you know, while still keeping that same feeling that I had watching her growing up, I wanted to kind of keep that, but just modernize her.
What did you know, Guy, that you had to retain from the original animated classic? And what did you know you could play with to modernize and to have it be live action?
You recognize that you don't want to disturb the nostalgia of the previous incarnation, yet simultaneously you have to modernize it. But you find the little spaces along the way, you know, just we've evolved, society's evolved in different ways. The obvious ways that it's illustrated in the movie is really the quality of challenge, if you will, that Jasmine is not so passive in this film. And they only felt right that if you were going to have a character as significant as Jasmine, that Aladdin goes on his journey, but she needed to go on hers. We've given her more facets to her character in order to realise that.
Aladdin!
Are we in trouble?
Only if you get caught.
Recognizing in Jasmine, and in general now in the Me Too world that we live in, she's not going to remain silent. She's not going to be kept down. She's going to be heard. And so this song, Speechless, we wrote, here comes a wave set to wash me away, a tide that is dragging me under. It's a song that we're really excited about.
She can sing.
She can really sing.
Man.
And so can Alan Menken. There is nothing like sitting in front of him with a piano.
And just watch him go.
Oh, my goodness. It's a
You're really good, aren't you, sir?
You've really won a lot of awards for these songs that you've written. And that new song, Speechless, is fantastic. Isn't it interesting to see that old animation from 27 years ago?
And we're saying old animation from 27 years ago. It's like, oh, that was 27 years ago?
27 years ago.
But it takes on a different dimension, doesn't it, when you make it real live action?
I really think it does.
I love the way they shot this movie. They shot it had a very 1930s, 40s feel. Lots of bright colors and a lot of fun in how the set designs were in that. Yeah, along with the people as the characters themselves.
And the next evolution from animation to like live action CGI kind of thing, the new version will be Lion King.
Yes, and it's almost seamless now, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
You cannot tell where the real ends and the CGI starts.
It's a pretty exciting time in movies, and when you look at that back and you think how far we've come in a relatively short period of time. You were mentioning Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse.
What an awesome movie that was. I know we're going off on a tangent, but I watched it after the Oscar, and usually you hear all the buzz and you're like, that's a really good movie. It's
a really good movie. There's a reason it won the Academy Award. And for anybody who was like, do I need another Spider-Man movie? You need this Spider-Man movie. It really is all about inclusivity and how everybody has a power. And it's really important. I'm sure you watched it with McKenna.
Yeah, and we both loved it. Both loved it. All right, got more on BT coming up after the break.